I'm so excited you're here today. Are you planning your wedding and starting to feel a little overwhelmed by the budget? It's totally normal. Weddings can get expensive fast, and keeping track of all the costs can be a challenge. But don't worry. Today, I'm breaking down exactly what you need to include in your wedding budget, and even more importantly, those hidden costs that couples often forget about. And stay tuned, because I've got something special for you at the end of this video to help you calculate your wedding budget breakdown. Let's get started. First, let's go over the essential expenses couples normally include in their wedding budget and how much of the total budget they usually take. Venue and catering. Without a doubt, this is usually the largest chunk of your budget. This includes the venue rental, food, drinks, and sometimes even the staff. When you are choosing your venue, make sure to ask about what's included in the price. Some venues offer everything: tables, chairs, linens, even staff, while others charge separately for every little thing. And don't forget the catering. The person cost can really add up quickly, especially if you're planning on a large guest list. Attire and accessories. This category includes your wedding dress, shoes, and all those little accessories that you'll need, like jewelry or a hairpiece. And let's not forget the groom suit, which can be a little pricey as well. Photography and videography. Capturing all the memories from your big day is absolutely essential. You'll want professional photos and maybe even a video to relive those moments. Photography and videography can get pricey, but trust me, it's worth it. When budgeting for this, think about how long you want your photographer or videographer to be there. Is it just for the ceremony and reception, or do you want a full day of coverage, including getting ready? Decor and flowers. Flowers and decor really bring your wedding to life. Bouquets, centerpieces, table settings, and other decor can eat up a good portion of your budget, so it's worth considering alternatives. For example, silk flowers can be a more affordable option. Or you could focus on one or two statement pieces rather than going overboard with flowers everywhere. Entertainment. Whether you're hiring a DJ or a live band, entertainment plays a big role in setting the tone of your celebration. If you are on a tighter budget, consider going for a DJ or a full live band, or maybe even a playlist on your iPod if you're looking to cut costs even further. Stationery. Invitations, RSVP cards, name cards, menus, thank you notes, the list goes on. This is one area where you can really save money by going digital. There are so many online options now, so consider sending electronic invites for a more budget and eco-friendly option. Transportation. Depending on where your ceremony and reception are, transportation can be another cost to factor in. Wedding cars or guest shuttles can add up. Favors and gifts. Many couples like to give guests small gifts as a thank you for attending. This can be anything from personalized items to simple treats. But let's be real, this is an optional expense that you can easily cut if you need to save some cash. Wedding rings. Wedding bands are a must, but it's easy to get carried away. You can go for something simple and classic or splurge on diamonds and engraving. Choose something meaningful and within your means. Wedding planner or wedding coordinator. If you are working with a planner, this can be a big chunk of your budget. But if you are doing it on your own, it can also save you from a ton of stress. A day of coordinator might be a more affordable option. If you want, for example, someone to help with the logistics without hiring a full planner. Honeymoon. Finally, don't forget to include your honeymoon. Many couples are so focused on the wedding day that they forget to budget for their post-wedding trip. Whether it's a luxurious beach resort or a quick weekend getaway, make sure you allocate some of your budget for your honeymoon. It's your time to relax and enjoy each other's company after all the craziness. Now, let's talk about the unexpected costs that couples often forget, and this can really add up. Marriage license and efficient fees. Don't forget to get your marriage license. This can be a small expense, but it's essential. Plus, some officials charge a fee for their services, which you'll need to include in your budget. Alterations and dress cleaning. After you pick out your dream dress, you'll need to get it altered to fit perfectly. Alterations can be pricey, especially if you are making significant changes. Also, don't forget to factor in the cost of dry cleaning the dress after the wedding. Beauty services. Hair and makeup. Many brides and bridesmaids opt for professional hair and makeup on the big day, but it's easy to overlook the cost. Vendor meals. Don't forget to feed your vendors. Postage for invitation sending. Sending out paper invites? Don't forget to include postage. Depending on the weight and size of your invitations, this can add up quickly. Taxes and service fees. Some venues and vendors add taxes or service fees on top of the initial cost, something 10–20%. Always ask about any additional charges to avoid surprises later. Overtime fees. Your reception might run late, and some vendors will charge you overtime if the event goes beyond the agreed upon hours. Keep this in mind when planning your timeline. Day after brunch. Many couples host a brunch the day after the wedding to continue the celebration. This is a lovely gesture, but can be an extra cost to factor into your budget. Tips and gratitudes. Don't forget to budget for tipping your vendors, photographers, planners, musicians, and others. So, to be on the safe side, it's always a good idea to set aside 5–10% of your total planned budget for unexpected expenses. Weddings are full of surprises, and this will give you a cushion if something comes up. Okay, so now that we've covered all the major expenses, here are some of my top tips to make sure you stay on track with your wedding budget. First of all, prioritize must-haves. Focus on the things that matter the most to you and your partner. If photography is a top priority, allocate more there. If flowers are less important, cut back in that area. You get to decide where to spend and where to save. Second, set a contingency fund. Always plan for the unexpected. Budgeting 10% extra will give you peace of mind when unplanned expenses pop up. Third, choose off-peak dates. Venues and vendors charge much less during the off-season. So if you're flexible, think about getting married in the winter or fall for potential savings. Fourth, negotiate with vendors. Don't be afraid to negotiate prices, especially if you are booking multiple services with the same vendor or having a wedding on a weekday. Many vendors are willing to offer discounts for these reasons. Fifth, track every expense. Use a wedding budget spreadsheet or app to stay organized and on track. It's easy to lose sight of small purchases, and a budget tracker can help keep you accountable. Fix. Do it yourself where it makes sense. There are some things you can DIY without sacrificing quality. Invitations, favors, and some decor items can be done with a little creativity and help from friends and family. And there you have it, a realistic wedding budget breakdown that helps you feel more in control of your finances. In addition, I've got a special treat for you. I've created a very simple, downloadable Excel sheet that can help you calculate your wedding budget breakdown based on your total budget. You can easily input your budget and it will automatically show you the recommended amounts for each category. Just click the link in the description below to grab it. Remember, every wedding is unique, so these percentages are just guidelines. You can always adjust them to match your priorities. By the way, I'd love to hear from you. Have you encountered any surprise cost during your wedding planning journey? Or maybe you are using a budget tool that's been super helpful. Share in the comments below, please. If this video helped you out, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe and turn on notifications for more wedding planning tips. And be sure to check out my latest video on wedding planning trends. Plus, if you are curious about how much a wedding costs in Switzerland, I've got that covered as well. See you next time and happy planning!